Practice has been good. We've had that week. We definitely needed the week off for guys getting healthier. Even the guys that were playing that have little knick-knack injuries. It's been pretty good practice. A lot of work done. I'm hoping so. Seeing the guys doing more on the sideline, Landers and DeAndre getting more active on the sideline. Um, Same with Jalen, getting their conditioning down and looking for them to be back soon. I would think so. I wouldn't want to burn, especially if it were, because I don't know if DeAndre and Landers are playing. Whenever they do come back, I don't think they're full board, but you never know about those guys and how their competitive nature, takes over during a game. And definitely don't want them to get any more injuries after being out so long if they come back or when they come back to play them in a ton of minutes. Jaden is doing a little bit more. It's just something going on with his leg that it's just going to take the rest for it to heal up. It's going to be a very tough environment. They're looking forward to this game. Obviously, everyone knows the rivalry. And they lost to us here. They made a heck of a comeback in the second half and lost in the very last minutes of the game. And they're putting their throwback uniforms on. And they're making it a big deal. And I'm sure it's going to be a jam-packed house. So it's going to be like old times. Well, I haven't really stressed that. I've been stressing that, we need to finish strong and then it's one game at a time. I think we just go 1-0 for the next 9 games and let everything else take care of itself. We understand that we were injured early and didn't have a full roster, and that now that we're starting to get our roster back, now the chemistry has to take over again because we haven't had a full team since really Alabama, and now it's starting to get back to that, and we can see, where the chemistry is going to be. I think it's a little both. I think obviously the shots that they made, the ones that were open were good looks. They can make those, but the ones that Davenport was making from the top of the key with people hanging on them and contesting, that's just a hot night. But we do have to be careful because he could get hot like that again. Obviously, DeJulius is a good shooter. Adams Woods and Newman, those guys can really, shoot it open. They're all capable of making good shots. But, yeah, we have to be aware of that on the road. Yeah, they're a multiple effort team. They're gonna pressure you, deny the wings. They're gonna try to switch 1 through 4, and then play aggressive with the 5 man, and they just take things away. They contest every shot. You drive to the basket, 2 or 3 guys conversion on the ball. They're high hands. They're doing all that, and for us, we just move the ball. The ball moves faster than they can. So when we drew 2 people, we weren't selfish enough to try to shoot it. We would get it to the next guy, take a good shot, make it a great shot. And we made shots, and that's what you have to do against Cincinnati. Um, yeah, this, hum. I mean, you'd have to say Josh because he's learning how to play defense better. He's learning situations better. His athleticism has always been good, but he's finding a niche out there on the floor, and I think that you could say him. Mhm. Yeah, now, obviously, yeah, in the beginning, the physicality was a lot. Understanding the defense was tough. And as good as anybody can look offensively, these freshmen are going to be not as great defensively and understanding and awareness. And early on, that was the case. But now, yeah, obviously he's earned the right to be put in the lineup and get minutes for sure. Yeah, no, Josh, I could see like in high school that he wasn't just tearing the stat sheets up and just being like this explosive player that was scoring 30, 40, 50 at a private school. He was doing really well, and you could see the potential, but nobody in Florida really believed in him because they felt like he had another level that he didn't get to, that if he did, he could be good, but they didn't know if he would. I think coming here playing with all of this talent, it's brought the best out of him every day, and that's the difference. I could see how he wasn't heavily recruited out of high school because they were looking at potential and like, we don't know if this is going to pan out. And we saw his length, his athleticism, and his playmaking ability and was like, with this group, we're hoping that what happened would happen, that it would bring the best out of him, the competitive nature, and it has. He does. He does debate me, but in a good way. Josh is not. He's a wonderful kid. He just has some weird answers when you say things to him. Instead of just saying, "Okay, I got you," he wants to negotiate a little bit and talk about why he did what he did, which isn't bad. But at the end of the day, he's definitely a joy to have on the team because all he wants to do is win. I mean, he admits in areas that he just doesn't know and that he needs to get better, but he also debates you some as well. Yeah, it actually was because Desmond Merriweather was telling me about middle school championships, and I was like, I couldn't relate. I knew Memphis basketball is huge, high school, but I never knew middle school was just that important until I started helping him coach and saw the competitive nature of all the coaches in the league and all the players in the league and going around scouting games when I was a coach at Leicester, just looking at other teams and was like, man, there's a wealth of talent in the middle school around. DJ Lawson was still in middle school at that time. I was like, man, there's some really good players in middle school that I had never even, I knew Diedrich, but just the other players, like, man, this is pretty good. And when I got into that level, I was shocked to see the amount of talent that was coming. Appreciate it.